No,
Oh.
it was on the preview.
Disappointed. Okay.
Hello, everybody. You know me. Okay, no, you don't, but you know who I am. I'm Issa J, your Smart Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Champion, and alongside me for the ride or die, my great friend.
Liam Landry.
That's right.
Yes. And I would just say, I could have probably been the Small Wrestling Alliance champion, but he didn't want to put up the title because he's a wuss.
Well, see, the next proper event technically isn't even until Summer Sayakuda na.
You're not going to put up the title until next SummerSlam? Even worse than Brock Lesnar.
I know, I'm sorry. No. We'll probably do it for Evolution. If not Evolution, definitely Survivor Series, without a doubt.
Said it right that time.
I did. Alright, so Bound for Glory.
I should have just been like, you mean Survivor Series?
This time, no. Alrighty. Alright, so Bound for Glory is what we're talking about today. It's our show, Was It Worth It, where we go down the card, we give our thoughts on the matches, and overall what we thought of the show. If you saw our live reactions, you can definitely see our enjoyment of the show. But we're just going to take it match by match, segment by segment, just to let you guys get a glimpse into our minds. Warning, it can be scary at times. Alright, Liam.
Yes. We start off with Rich Swann coming out with his mystery partner, which turned out to be Willie Mack, and they were facing Matt Sydal and Ethan Page, and the victors here were Rich Swann and Willie Mack.
Yes, a really good way to pop the crowd with a lot of great action, and it was a lot of fun from start to finish. It was a really good match.
Yeah, great action, but also good wrestling as well.
Yes, entirely.
Yeah, so and really good display of talent for Willie Mack coming in here. Tag team, but still got enough to display his own abilities.
Yeah, without a doubt. It was seeing a lot of the spots that he was even able to pull off. It was very impressive. The selling from Rich Swann, really, really good. And the faces prevailed in the end. Overall, this was a hot match to start it off, and it became like a favorite throughout the first half of the show, easily. So yes, it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it.
All right, next match, Liam.
Next match, we had Eli Drake calling out anyone from New York to come fight him, and to answer the call, the People's Champion, James Ellsworth.
The People's Champion that the people booed?
Yes, the people did not like James Ellsworth.
He did do in his coy callbacks to being in WWE, saying that he was treated like a dog by the Staten Island princess.
Oh no, he said he dated a Staten Island girl from Staten Island. I said was treated like a dog by the Staten Island. Because that was a more accurate description of
Very
what happened.
true, very true.
Yes.
Also, he mentioned that he loves New York, which got a chorus of boos.
Yes, well, that's just a very tourist thing to say.
Yeah.
If you were from New York, you would hate it immensely. And
we'll get to that match later.
Yes, hate that it was cleaned up.
We'll get to that match later. But yeah, after a couple things, a no-chin music, Eli
2
Drake.
minutes and 10 seconds.
Eli Drake just grabs him, does this really, what is that called? That maneuver? Where he has them up and
The air raid crash?
Yes, he does an air raid crash. The fans are chanting for one more time, and he gives it to them. Eli's definitely playing babyface here.
Just because compared to James Ellsworth.
Exactly. And then after that, he's like, no, this wasn't a challenge. I want a real challenge. Someone who I guess
The
is
Hall of Fame
a Hall of
talent.
yeah, and then out comes Abyss.
Yes.
Basically beats him up, throws him through a table.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, Eli Drake does his Eli Drake point thing on the middle turnbuckle, and the entire crowd was behind him. Even
James
when
Ellsworth can
Abyss
really get
was
people
there.
over.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Overall, the segment was a nice little way to cool the crowd down from a really fast-paced, intense match. So yeah, I have to say,
it was fine for what it was doing, but I don't think it was really worth it to come back to.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something you can skip.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that how if they were hoping James Ellsworth was going to get a pop, it completely backfired. I just feel like that was worth checking out. But you are right.
I mean, it wasn't as big of a flop as the Becky Lynch heel. That was great to see.
That is going to be the biggest botch in writing for the whole year. Nothing's going to top that.
Could be the biggest watch in wrestling history.
That too.
Yes.
Like I don't see anything being able to top that. They're like, oh, we're gonna turn Becky Lynch heel, and the entire arena is behind it and cheering for Becky, and then they cut to Charlotte Flair crying, and they start booing her. You cannot get any more. You can't get anything more wrong if you tried.
As fun as that was, let's get back to this.
Yes, next match.
Next match is Tessa Blanchard, the Knockouts champion, facing Taya Valkyrie with Tessa Blanchard coming out on top.
Yes, this was a really good match. These two women have really good chemistry together. A lot of really good spots were thrown here in there, each and every way. And for Tessa, it definitely felt like she had an intensity of trying to speed the match up and get the win as fast as possible, because I think she is the smaller of the two, so she didn't want to be overpowered later on. I thought it was a great from bell to bell. What did you think about it?
I thought it was really well paced. A lot of real action there.
Mm-hmm.
Get right into the exciting parts. It was a lot of real good moves and everything. I thought it was real good overall.
Yeah. Definitely worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very nice and refreshing to
Got the crowd
watch.
in there.
Yeah,
yes.
The crowd was definitely into this one, but it's very nice and refreshing to see a women's match, and it's taken seriously by the commentators, by the fans, by the women in the ring, by the company saying, all right, girls, all right, women, put on a show, do what you can do. And it's very nice to see that. And
no botches.
I don't recall. I think one happened.
No one got knocked out.
True. Nobody got knocked out.
Take that as a hint, Bree.
Yeah, Bree. I'm going to have to look up Bree versus Zelina Vega just to see what that looked like, because I want to see that visual. But it's only going to make me hate Bree even more.
Yeah. Anyways,
moving on.
I thought it was worth it.
Definitely worth it.
Yeah. Next one, Eddie Edwards was defeated by Moose in a quick disqualification. I don't actually know why they said it like that. They put defeated by Moose. Defeated Moose by disqualification.
There we go.
Sorry, misread that there. But yeah, Eddie Edwards beat Moose by disqualification in a singles match. Was a quick match, only to be followed up immediately by Tommy Dreamer coming down to save him and calling for a tag team match. Just play at him.
Yeah.
And called for that tag team.
So it became a
tag team match where Eddie Edwards got the roll-up victory on, I believe it was Moose.
It was Moose.
Yep. Yeah.
And at the he rolls him up 1, 2, pulls the tights, 3, gets the win via cheatsy means, but it's Eddie, so it's okay, I guess. This was exactly what the Eli Drake match was. which was a cool down, a really good, intense match for the women's championship, the knockout championship, and they needed something to cool down the crowd. And I guess this was a good enough way to do it.
It was, yeah, it's just pretty kind of wild and crazy thing. Not really like an organized, thought out match.
Mm-hmm. One of the most disgusting.
Not even really to say that's not thought out. It was probably thought out, but not feeling thought out. Just kind of going for anything to.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely had one of the most disgusting instances I have ever seen, and I don't ever want to see again. When Tommy Dreamer took a can of beer, put it in his mouth,
drank the beer. He didn't put the can in his mouth.
No, he put the beer that was in the can in his mouth. Yes. Turned. He was on the ring apron. Turned to look down at Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards then opens his mouth and they do a Mama Baby Bird. Oh, and then Eddie Edwards spits that beer into Moose's face.
Yes.
And this is where a lot of spit takes and spitting and just a lot of why was going on. And
so would you say it's not worth it overall?
Overall, no.
I mean, you have to see that spot. So
I would say if us describing that spot to you was enough to make you cringe, skip it. But if you are a sick freak like Tommy Dreamer thinks we all are, go check it out. That's all I can say. Oh, I can't say if it was worth it or not. For me, it wasn't.
But when we say sick freak, we mean it in the most complimentary way possible.
Exactly, 100%.
You do you, boo. Yeah, I didn't think it was worth it overall, just because it's.
It was a lot of.
I mean, it's not like it was.
It was a hot mess.
Bad stuff.
No,
it's just not much to go back to, I guess. Like
it wasn't anything telling.
It's not something
a
of
proper
substance.
Story.
It's kind of like a junk food of wrestling.
It felt very junky.
And we want you to eat your steak and vegetables of wrestling.
Exactly.
Yes.
Next match, sir.
Next match is OVE versus the team of the Lucha Bros and Brian Cage in the OVE rules match.
Yes. Obviously. Oh yeah, that's right. It was called an OVE rules match, which means it was basically a tornado tag match. They didn't do any extreme spots.
There was no weapons involved.
Yeah, no weapons, no extreme spots.
It's like OVE rules match. The camera has to be shaking the entire time and flickering in and out.
But not even that.
Yes,
it was a it was a really fun match. Very, very high paced. Like if you thought Rich Swann in his tag match with Willie Mack, Matt Sydal, and Page was fast paced, this match definitely took it to the next level.
It was very high paced, but still organized into an actual match.
Oh, very much so. It definitely didn't feel like just them running around with their heads chopped off.
It didn't feel like the last one, basically.
Exactly, that too. A lot of tag matches tonight. But anyways, it was. I really enjoyed this match. I really did. I liked how OVE was a well-oiled machine, and I liked how the Lucha Brothers and Brian Cage were able to work together very well. Like if they had beef, because I know Brian Cage and Ray Fury had a match for the X Division title a while back.
Phoenix?
That's what I meant. Ray Phoenix. Ray Fury. Okay, my bad. Ray Phoenix.
Yes.
Ray Phoenix and Cage had a match for the X Division title not too long ago. Yeah, he was. That beef did not come into play at all. They worked well. They worked well. Really, they worked together really well. There it is, brain. But yeah, I definitely say it was worth it. And OVE Sami Callihan pinning Brian Cage after a lot of kicks to Brian Cage's face. First time Brian Cage has been pinned on Impact. So that's really cool. That's a really really cool tidbit there. Obviously, it wasn't in the cleanest of fashion, but that's not what this match was supposed to be. And of course, the Lucha Bros were amazing because it's Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix.
Yeah, I thought it was worth it.
What were some of your favorite parts in the match?
I liked a lot of that stuff that just kind of happened around that apron area.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of things. I liked all the kick stuff.
Yeah, there's a super kick party in that one. It started off straight away with a super kick, didn't it?
Extravaganza.
There we go.
Yeah.
We both think it was worth it. Definitely check that one out.
Like if Impact had like unlimited the number of super kicks they can have every year, they probably reached that limit.
Oh, they probably exceeded that limit.
Yes.
And they're getting sued. What's next?
By the Young Bucks. The next match was the LAX, the modern LAX, facing off against the OGs, with the LAX coming out on top.
Yeah, this was
in a concrete jungle death match.
Concrete jungle death match, which means the boards were completely exposed. No
they put
apron.
concrete on top of them.
They didn't do that.
But everything was exposed, and then they
Yeah.
put some tables around.
And I think the concrete on the floor was exposed too. And a lot of it was scary looking. Like a lot of these bumps, none of these men should have been taken. They are gonna feel it when they're older.
The nicest bump was the one through the table. So that says a lot.
Yeah, if a table spot was the easiest bump to take, that's saying something. Overall, great carnage, great excitement, great action, despite it being hard to watch at times. A really good death match. Straight away, Hernandez started bleeding. I thought it was worth it.
Yeah, if you like real carnage and stuff like that.
Don't watch Venom. I had to. I'm sorry.
He is technically in there. The person.
Wait, what?
Apparently, it's an Easter egg that the guy who would become Carnage is in there.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, and he actually says, I want to, if I get out, I'm going to create Carnage.
Yeah, that's so bloody. Yeah. That's so lazy.
Well, I mean, you can't have him in the first film. You got to save him.
I'm talking about the little pun was lazy. The writing was lazy. But back to the match.
You have to hit people over the head with it. That's why you had to name him Robin in The Dark Knight Returns. But anyways, but yeah, what was the thing? Yes, it was a very big match for like carnage and things like that. So if you like matches like this would really fit into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not the biggest deathmatch kind of guy.
Me neither.
But I was entertained by what they were doing in this one.
Yeah, it was still entertaining, and I thought it was worth it.
All right, and what was the next segment? Because this wasn't a match.
The next match is as listed by Wikipedia. Whoever does the Wikipedia page is Ali versus Su Yung, which ended in a no contest.
Ali goes to the Sinister Minister.
Yes, goes to the devil to
go
to passage into the dark world.
Yes.
To the afterlife, in order to save
Kira Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Uses the wrong end of an axe.
Yep. Eventually, she learns how to use it.
Yes.
Starts killing bridesmaids. Attempts to kill Su Yung.
Su Yung attempts to kill her.
So it's really the most hardcore of hardcore matches.
Yes. She finally finds a knife to stab in Su Young's neck.
Well, no, she stabs her with the axe.
Oh, that was the axe?
Yeah, Su Yung pulled out a knife and then she hit her with the axe.
Gotcha.
While she was trying to make the swing.
Saves Kira Hogan. They try to open the casket, but the devil comes as like, haha, I've got your soul. Then Rosemary decides to pop in. Rosemary decides to pop in.
Makes her debut.
And it's like, what are you guys doing here? This isn't your realm. Go back to your realm. It's like, oh no. The bridesmaids and Su Young grabs her. They do like this weird Mortal Kombat thing that looked really cheesy.
Yes, Mortal Kombat the movie.
Yes. Then they go back into the casket. They pop out. Oh, they're back in their real world. But Allie is definitely possessed, or something's going on with her. This was ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure we were talking over it throughout the whole time, not really taking it seriously. Because what is there to take serious about this?
Yeah, the thing before that came on, I was like, I mean, as long as they don't have a House of Hardcore,
yeah, House of Hardcore match.
Was that what it was called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
As long as it didn't have something like that, and then they just kind of...
No, House of Horrors.
House of
Horrors, there it is.
Yeah, and then he just made it dumber.
It wasn't even a match.
Yeah, I
It
don't
wasn't
know.
even a match.
Wikipedia says it was a match.
But apparently, though, technically, because Allie went there, saved her friend, and got out, she is the victor?
But I mean, she didn't get the pin.
No, but
She took
was she
took the
supposed
pinfall once you get the axe. It's like 1, 2, 3, boom, you're done, gone for good. And it's like, no, I go to sub hell now.
It was a bit of ridiculousness that
It's superstars.
it makes us roll our eyes and be like, okay, these women deserve a lot better. Come on.
It's not worth it.
Especially after the great title match we had before with Tessa and Taya. No, it definitely wasn't. However, the show does end when Johnny Impact decides to face Austin Aries. And what happens here, good sir?
Johnny Impact actually gets the victory. All clean and stuff, too.
Exactly how I wanted it.
So Austin Aries very upset.
Oh, more than just that. But we'll get to that in a bit. Okay, so the match starts off hot with a lot of grappling and a lot of...
well, it was a lot of brawling from Johnny, met with the grappling and submission techniques from Austin Aries.
Yeah.
So it was instantly telling story, having good ring psychology right off the bat, and a lot of really brutal fighting, making it look
a lot
real
of brutal
realistic.
knees to the head.
Yes.
And it looked really, really good. Like, these guys, obviously these guys know what they're doing. Then we have before the match starts, we see Moose and Killer Cross come out, and the announcers are like, yeah, so Austin was like, you can have your wife, but I'm having Moose and Killer Cross. And we're like, okay, what are they going to do to interfere in this match? The most we really seen of them was when Austin takes a bump, but we missed the bump Austin takes because it focuses straight on to Moose's reaction.
Yes, so Austin Aries distracted the cameraman.
Yeah.
And the editors. But not Johnny Impact.
So it was, Moose
Then
and Killer did not do anything.
Then there was a point where Taya got hit by Austin Aries on a suicide dive. And that just fired up Johnny Impact even more.
Yeah, I did really love the finish with the brainbuster into the Starship Pain.
Yes.
That was really cool. 1, 2, 3. Johnny gets the win clean, and immediately after the belt gets handed to Johnny, Austin Aries just slides under the ring and no-sells it. He's yelling at the commentators. He's yelling, pointing backstage or whatever. He's flipping off the crowd, and he just leaves. And everyone is looking like, what the heck is going on here? I don't understand this at all. And that was very confusing. So, like we said in our live stream, we will definitely keep you guys updated on if anything happens with Austin and Impact anytime soon.
Yep. But yeah, I thought it was a really good match.
I did
My
too.
favorite match of the night. I thought it was worth it.
I definitely thought it was worth it. And yeah, overall, what do you have to say?
I thought overall there was some weak spots, but the good spots really outweighed the weak ones.
And the weak ones, in my opinion, other than the Ali Su Young show, definitely did not overstay their welcome. Like, they knew when to cut it. They knew when to leave, which a lot of promotions don't know. So that was really fun. That was really nice of them. And yeah, overall, it was definitely, the show was definitely worth it.
Yeah, I thought so too.
All right, those were our thoughts on Impact's Bound for Glory. We have a new champion in Johnny Impact, and I'm super stoked because I've always liked him since his Johnny Nitro days in WWE, up until it became John Morrison. So yeah, I guess we're gonna sign off right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give us those sexy likes.
And the unsexy ones.
Don't forget to share to all of your friends.
And the enemies.
If you like what we do, please hit that subscribe button so that way you are a part of the Smarky family, and then hit the notification bell because
you want to get notified for when we go live. We go live for most WWE events and also events outside the WWE, like the Bound for Glory. And you also get notified for when our videos go up, and for our podcast Shooting with the Smarky family, which is supposed to be every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time.
And it will come back at 1 p.m. Central Time next week. I'll be able to do that and then go back to meet up with Francesca because it's her birthday next week. What?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at IsaJ_STP.
Follow me on Twitter at Liam_SWA.
And follow Francesca and DJ as well. You can find them on our Twitters. If you don't want to search that way, you can definitely find them at DJC_SEL and at Francesca_SWA respectively. Thanks again so much for watching and supporting us and having a blast with us, and it's a really cool show. We'll see you guys next time, and until next time, it will be awesome. Alright, say goodbye while I sign us out.
Bye everybody. Bye. Bye people.
We'll see you guys next time. Bam.